Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be counting down the top 5 best devil fruits in One Piece. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so this is my opinion devil fruits. Now I have covered a lot of different types of devil fruits. I've pretty much covered nearly all of them, and I've come up with my top 5 of what I think is the best. So that being the case, let's get into number 1. Number 1, we have Marco the Phoenix's Mythical Zoan Phoenix, or the Tweet Fruit model Phoenix. Now this is a mythical type devil fruit, and that means that it is a super rare type of devil fruit. Along with this, the Phoenix devil fruit actually has some more different types of abilities, such as his standard form, where he can just be normal, ordinary Marco. Along with that, he has his hybrid form, where he just gains his wings or his talons in his body, so to speak. It like converts into that. And then he's got his full form, which he just turns into a big ass freaking phoenix with loads of blue fire. Now, moving on to this actual fire, the fire has the ability of pretty much being able to heal himself. So say a load of Marines decided to shoot at Marco, he is able to regenerate. This is a common trait within Mythical Zoan devil fruits, where they have extra abilities added on, and in Marco's cases he has the ability of self-healing. But along with this, his self-healing ability actually works near on instantaneously for him. It still gets cancelled out by Sea Prism Stone, and he can obviously still like drown and all that jazz. But along with that, he has the ability, which was shown at the beginning of the Wano arc, of being able to heal others with his fire. They are called the Flames of Restoration. Now this takes a little bit longer in order to heal someone, but it increases the healing rate in which he uses on someone else. So in his case, he had a Sphinx. Do you know that thing from Impel Down that tried to flatten Luffy in level 2 with all the beasts? Now one of those was hurt in Whitebeard's hometown where he grew up, because Marco is looking after it at the moment. And pretty much Marco just uses the Flames of Restoration on that animal, and simply put, it will take a couple of days for it to fully heal. But the cool thing is with those Flames of Restoration is that it takes a little less longer. Another side note to go along with Marco's devil fruit is he is actually the Doctor of the Whitebeard Pirates, so this devil fruit matches him perfectly, as it is more or less a healing based devil fruit. But aside from all of that, and like the Flames of Restoration and self-healing and all that jazz, he can fly, which is a very rare trait when it comes to different types of devil fruits. Now, Pell in the Alabaster arc actually stated that there was only 5 types of devil fruits known that can actually fly. Now we've seen multiple different types of devil fruits use their abilities in order to somewhat fly. So say Doflamingo can attach himself to clouds using his string fruit. That isn't technically flying, so we've only seen a few of actual devil fruits that can actually fly, and Marco is one of them. Along with that, that is pretty much what I have to say for Marco at number 1. At number 2, we have Big Mom's devil fruit of the Soul fruit, or the Soru no Mi. It is a bloody powerful devil fruit, mainly because it gives her the ability to control and manipulate souls. Yeah, that's pretty damn overpowered, if I do say so myself. The ability of creating, well, not creating, but manipulating people's souls is a very powerful trait, to say the least. Big Mom has used this to actually not only pull someone's soul out of their body and pretty much consume it and kill the person she's actually using it against, she can also divide someone's souls up. So when people in Totland have to pay homage to her, so to speak, in order to live in Totland, they have to give a little portion of their lifespan, which is a little portion of their soul. and she puts that into inanimate objects, which gives them life. Now, they do seem to have some of the same traits in which the user who formerly had that soul had those characteristics. So say they took Luffy, a little piece of Luffy's soul, and put it into a tree, it would still have some type of traits to go with Luffy, but it's still its own being, so to speak. These are primarily called homies, and the three well-known ones are Prometheus, Zeus, and Napoleon. Napoleon is the hat, which is her most loyalist of her homies, and that pretty much sits on her head. You know, it sits on her head. But along with that, he is able to do things by himself and or be his own type of creature, much as what we've seen with Zeus. Now, Zeus is currently with Nami in the Wano arc, and because she stole him, basically, with little thunderbolt clouds and all that jazz. But, yeah, really, really interesting, because Zeus actually tends to have his own personality and his own type of, how do you put it? Just his own personality, so to speak. So, at the end of the day, the homies in which she can create with her soul fruit, it has seemingly their own personalities depending on what the person's soul is. So Prometheus is obviously like this massive fireball type thing, and he has like more of an aggressive side. So I kind of gives rise to the belief that different portions of her soul obviously is in those three homies. So that would be kind of weird in the sense of, does she actually split her soul, like removing a little bit of anger and putting that in Prometheus, putting a bit of laziness into Zeus, and with Napoleon, the more loyal of them all, putting that in there. Now, I do love the aspect of the soul fruit, not only that you can just kill someone straight up, but that one actually has a little bit of a funny thing that actually goes along with that. She will ask you a ultimatum question where it will be like leave or stay or whatever that jazz. And basically, if you fear her, pretty much, if you fear Big Mum pretty much after those questions, it kind of like releases her ability to actually pull the soul out of you. So basically, if you're not scared of her and not intimidated by her, you can pretty much negate the entire soul being dragged out of your bloody body. Now, this was actually showcased by Jinbei, formerly one of the 7 warlords of the sea, and also now the helmsman of the Straw Hat crew. Now, I find this to be quite cool. Now, at the wedding of Charlotte Pudding and Sanji, we actually got a glimpse of what Jinbei did to Big Mum, basically. Big Mum gave him the ultimatum, and pretty much Jinbei just negated it because he just does not give a shit. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. More specifically, loved it in the anime because it was just more, you could see more of like the, I just don't care, man. But at the end of the day, the soul fruit is absolutely ridiculous because it gives you the ability to pretty much manipulate people's souls. That's pretty damn overpowered, and that's why I've put it at number 2. At number 3, we have the Oppi Oppi no Mi. I love the Oppi Oppi no Mi, and that is used by Trafalgar Law. Now, I do find that this devil fruit is pretty much overpowered as hell, and mainly for a few reasons. This gives him the ability to manipulate anything in his room to whatever he wants. So, in certain aspects, in a physical way, he can create the room bubble around people and manipulate their body parts using his ability of shambles, where he can just mix up you, like cut you up, still keep you alive, no doubt, but place your body parts in loads of different areas and you'll still be alive. Which I find absolutely weird as hell, but it's awesome as well as that. The other abilities that go along with his room ability mainly stretches towards Punk Hazard, And the most notable thing that I found in Punk Hazard was his ability to switch people's bodies. He can actually switch the body you're actually in with someone else. This is showcased in the anime and the manga as a little heart coming out of you, and obviously it's not a real heart. We'll get into that one in a minute. But it's kind of like a fake heart that comes out and just switches your personalities with other people. Now, Sanji got put into Nami's body, so we all know what's going to go on there. He was just over the moon, so to speak. But along with that, switching people's bodies up with different things, people don't know what powers you have and all that jazz. So it's pretty damn useful, so to speak, when it comes to different types of aspects. You could use this in a very positive way, so if a Devil Fruit user can't swim, but they're the only one that knows how to do something underwater, then all you have to do is switch bodies with someone else. They still have their Devil Fruit in that body, and the other person can swim. I find this to be absolutely awesome, and this was actually showcased with Tashigi and Smoker, as Tashigi and Smoker, when they got switched, Tashigi actually had Smoker's Devil Fruit, and Smoker had Tashigi's sword. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Tashigi didn't know how to use Smoker's Devil Fruit, so obviously it's going to be pretty much like a broken leg when it comes to her in fighting stances, or just all around. If you switch people's bodies up who have Devil Fruits and don't know how to use them, it just becomes a very massive weakness towards other people if he manages to pull it off. Now, moving on to the Oppi Oppi no Mi's ability of removing people's hearts. Trafalgar Law has the ability of removing someone's heart out of their body but keeping them alive. He uses this as an insurance type thing to basically, don't screw me over, I have your heart, and he vice versa for Caesar Clown. Now this obviously caused the death of Monet in Punk Hazard as well. That Caesar actually thought that the heart was Smoker's, and yet obviously it was not, so Monet kind of died when Caesar stabbed it. But at the end of the day, I find that to be a very, very cool ability, because technically you could capture a load of people's different hearts and hold them at ransom. So pretty much you could do kind of like a Doflamingo type-esque thing and just have loads of people under your thumb, and then if they screw up, you can just stab their heart. Because what they're going to do? Not a lot. But the more specific reason of Trafalgar Law's abilities is mainly why he's at number 3 is because he can create the immortality surgery. Pretty much he can do the ageless surgery, so to speak. He can give his life of, basically his actual life. He can kill himself and give someone basically agelessness. So kind of immortal, so to speak, or kind of not immortal. At the same time, you can still obviously die, but you just will never age from that point onwards. I find this to be an absolutely amazing ability, but unfortunately it comes at a detrimental effect of Trafalgar Law actually dying. Now, some people have speculated that this was actually going to be used on Luffy, but I doubt it very much, because that would just make Luffy incredibly overpowered, and I personally think, this is my own personal opinion, that this would actually cause a bit of a problem when it comes to power level going forward in the storyline. So I doubt that will be used. So that being the case, that is Trafalgar Law's Devil Fruit at number 3. Number 4 on our list, and one of the, probably it's going to be a controversial type thing, is the mythical zone of the Kitsune. Now this is used by Katarina Devon, and personally I think that this Devil Fruit is absolutely overpowered. This is the only type of Devil Fruit I'm going to more or less speculate upon on this list, but it does have the potential to be one of the most overpowered Devil Fruits going. Now, that being the case, I do find that Katarina Devon's Devil Fruit is going to be absolutely overpowered, not only is it a mythical Zoan type devil fruit, but at the end of the day, a mythical Zoan type devil fruit of a nine-tailed fox. So obviously she's got her full form, her half form, and her full form. Her additional abilities is to transform into other people. She has something like Bon Clay's devil fruit where she can actually turn into other people. Now this comes at a very scary effect because she could turn into anyone. She doesn't necessarily have to touch them, so to speak. She can just do it. That is terrifying to say the least. Now, that being the case, that gives her slight advantages in order to do different types of things. And I was wondering this at first, how does she not escape Impel Down, like just transform into a guard and just walk out? That would work for me, and I'm not too sure. Maybe she was Sea Stone shackled, but at the end of the day, that is a terrifying devil fruit ability. And not only that, the Kitsune has other additional powers, such as having the Yoshi no Tama. Now this one's going to be more of a speculation type thing, which is kind of like an orb-shaped thing that the Kitsune actually has in Japanese mythology. The Yoshi no Tama has a portion of the Kitsune's power and or their life essence. If they actually lose this orb, they actually die. So this gives me rise to the belief that she's going to be one of the most overpowered people going, but her biggest weakness is her Yoshi no Tama, and that's how someone will defeat her. That is my little speculation for her devil fruit, and you're probably wondering why I've put it above the Oppi Oppi no Mi, and to be honest, there is no actual reason. I just fancied putting it at number 4, so my list. But coming in at number 5, and I made a video about this a while back, which is the ZUSHI no Mi, or otherwise known, or most commonly known, as the Gravity Fruit. This is Ishio's devil fruit, or Admiral Fujitora, and he has the ability of manipulating gravity. Now, I did a video going back on what the ramifications of actually having the ability to control and manipulate gravity, and yeah, terrifying. If you don't believe me that I think that this deserves the top on this list, then please go watch that video before you comment. The Gravity Fruit, so to speak, or the ZUSHI no Mi, has different types of abilities that have been shown. Admiral Fujitora has been able to pull meteors out of the sky and destroy and create a lot of collateral damage towards people. He has another ability where he is able to completely condense you into the ground so you cannot move. He used this to incapacitate Zoro, and this was seemingly with no effort. He is one of the admirals, so you definitely know that one of his devil fruits is super overpowered. And at the end of the day, having the ability of gravity, so to speak, is terrifying to say the least. As speculative, and a speculative turn on this of the video that I did a while back on Fujitora's Gravity Fruit was he could compress time behind him, so gravity compressing space-time behind him and expand it in front of him. He can move faster than Kizaru, and that being the case is absolutely terrifying to go with all of that. Along with that, if he is able to compress and compress and compress, he is not only able to just pin you to the ground, he could very well crush you into a singularity, so to speak, crush you into non-existence in like seconds. So that being the case, that is why his devil fruit is at the top of this list, and why I believe that this is one of the most overpowered devil fruits in One Piece. That being the case, I did leave out a few other devil fruits. I thought I'd not put any of the Logia type devil fruits in here on this list, as it is seemingly overused, and all of them would have pretty much made the list, besides a couple of them. because I would need room for the gravity fruit. But knowing any of this as well, I would still have put the gravity fruit at the top of the list because I believe it is one of the most overpowered devil fruits going. But that being the case, guys, what do you think is the most overpowered devil fruits going, or the best devil fruits going? Please put your suggestions down in the comment section down below. I would love to read all of them because obviously it's a debate, so please tell me which ones you think are the most overpowered devil fruits. Other than that, guys, have a wonderful rest of the day, and I shall see you on the next video, which will be on Saturday. Take it easy, guys, and I shall see you soon.